Okay, hello, nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you.
Zaki from Poland. Once I wrote to you about those cold vapors on the wall behind you in the Temple Legend 5 commercial. I don't know if you remember it. Okay, first of all, very happy to meet you. I wrote about you and the boot that you design all the time.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe first let me tell my readers what are you doing at Nike?
I'm a design director for Nike Football.
So you design all football boots, or all boots, all stuff?
Yes, we work only on footwear. I have a team of 10 designers that work with me on all the footwear.
Is it safe to say that we are replacing the CTR series with the Magista?
CTR, we will not continue doing CTR. Magista is definitely something new that we are offering.
So is this a completely new idea behind the boot, because the CTR series were about control, and what's the philosophy behind Magista?
Yeah, this boot is designed for the attacking playmaker. You know, it's different. In the past, we used to design shoes based on the position on the pitch.
Yeah.
You know, for wingers, Mercurial, T90 for the striker, and then CTR in the middle for like a midfielder.
This is more like a mind thing. How
Exactly. So this is more like how do you play, because you can be a fast, explosive guy, but you don't have to be on the wing. Even Cristiano, who's the icon of explosive speed, doesn't play on the wing all the time. Players move around the pitch. So this one is designed for the guy that on the pitch plays with vision. And in order to play with vision, first we have to get out of the way so that he can focus on his game, and then we can help him by amplifying the sensation, the feel of the ball, feel of the ground, feel his movement. If we can help with that, he can focus more on the vision.
The main thing that we noticed about the new boot is the
dynamic fit?
No, the thing that I can call a sock. We can call that it's something like a sock. What is the concept behind this? What is the benefit that player gets from this new element?
Yeah, so the human body, it's made out of different parts, right? And those parts are connected. They are not separated. So in order to provide a greater benefit, the big aha moment for us was we should be designing for the player's body, not for the player's foot only. Because when you design for a foot, you're kind of getting in a way of that natural transition. Imagine like a surgeon having a glove that starts from here. It would be a big distraction. It feels good only when it integrates with your body. The big benefit of it, it's a supernatural feel. It really feels like wearing a sock. It disappears. You're not aware of it. Also because of a tight fit, it compresses the little ligaments below your ankle. And once you compress these little ligaments, you trigger reaction. So the player, it's unconscious, but you know the information that flows from your brain to the rest of your body gets much quicker because you're stimulating them. And then what players are saying, they really feel confident when they have that.
That's a really good point. I didn't thought about that having a sock is something that translates to players reacting quickly because they feel faster because of the element that they didn't have previously. Tell me, we heard in the premiere that you are thinking forward till the World Championship in Qatar. That's like 8 years from now. Does this mean that Magista were developed 8 years back?
No, Magista, we started working on Magista after the World Cup in South Africa, so 4 years ago. But we are already looking 4 years ahead to the next one and have a plan for Qatar, have like a vision, a dream. And we need to start working on it because something this revolutionary really needs to take time, really needs time.
Okay. Was the flying it element that you, from the start, you knew that it would be a part of Magista, or did it come later?
No, it came later. We really started without any idea of what we would do. We started just asking players and their coaches and the medical staff in the clubs about insights. We needed to understand what was going on, what kind of performance benefits they need. And then along this road, when we realized we should be designing for the body, not for the foot. Okay, good idea, but how do you execute that with traditional materials? And the best possible solution we had was Flyknit. That's when we decided to use Flyknit. Prior to that, we were still playing with different materials. So the very, very first prototypes look completely different than this.
So when you came with this design, how familiar design, when you know that this is something that you want to do, just improve what you were having back there? Was it a year back, 2 years back?
Oh, that was more than 3 years back, yeah.
So about a year, it was the phase when you
Yeah.
think maybe let's try that,
Yeah.
and then you.
We were trying different things in the beginning, multiple different things, and then the more you work with player, the more it narrows down. And then came the moment where we are like, hey, wait a minute. In order to create something new, we have to think completely different. So what is the thinking process? And that's where, you know, the body connection and designing for the body, not for the foot came. And then from there we were like, okay, let's try a couple of things. So we tried some shoes, some early concepts, gave them back to the players. They put it on. Wow, that feels good. Okay, let's work on it.
So it was a good thing that you already had the technology, that you have the Flyknit, so you could put it right there, right when you needed it.
Yeah.
Many times you say about player input, that you talk with players, narrow things down, and this is a very interesting thing for me, because there are elements in football that I personally think are all about marketing, but there are things that had to came from the field, had to be player response, like this will start over here.
Yes.
We had that in the Hypervenom,
Yes, and
Temple
material.
Legend, and now
Yeah.
it's the third book. This is really a small thing, but it really makes a difference on the field.
Yeah.
I think that it had to came from a player, and Iniesta is your main man in Magista. Can you specify an element or part of the boot that came directly from him? Then he said, I would like something like that, or this would be good, and
Yeah, so when it comes to Iniesta, him, like many other players, talk to us about control. How do you control the ball? So the best way to control the ball is to feel it. When they are barefoot, they don't have the shoes on. This is when they can control the ball the best, but they cannot play barefoot. You know. So how do we offer them a boot that it's very close to being barefoot, feeling of the ball, but it's still playable? So that's why we created the texture and start minimizing layers. And then you go back to Iniesta, and he tries the boot and gives you feedback specific on this one. It's a little bit too thin, so we had to increase a little bit of the thicknesses without compromising touch, the feel of the ball, but to make him feel very confident in the boot. So that's the kind of feedback, like he gives an input, you create something, give it back to him, he tries it, gives you feedback, you correct it, and you do this a lot of times until he feels good about it.
So when we are talking about Iniesta, it's basically the concept that you developed with him, and not a special element. For example, the stat or something small that you got it directly.
Well,
from
with
him.
Iniesta, it's all about this texture. It's
All
all
about the
ball,
main concept.
the ball feel and the ball grip. Yeah.
Yeah. You said about making different versions and talking with players about what you when you go forward with a project with a new boot. In Hypervenom Phantom, we saw pictures of the previous concept models. Will there be any with Magista?
I think we are. I think we are releasing some pictures of the early runs of prototypes, so you'll be able to see how the boot progressed.
That's a really nice
from
thing to see. You know, I have a thought like this. You said in your advertisement that this boot is really something game-changing. There was nothing like this before, and it's really true, because here we have element, we have no tone. There was a big part of game and the way how I personally see soccer boots in the tone space, because you could have the space stiff and the ball
and the tone moves as well. So
moves as well, yes, and the transfer of the power on the ball.
it dampens the power.
Yeah, for example, in Temple Legend 4 we have a very stiff part right here, and it was a good thing. And here I'm very curious to play in them, because that's really something new, and I'm wondering how will it react on the field, how will I feel the ball. That's a very interesting thing. Are you developing another series, the Magista 2, right now?
We are working on EC16, on the next European Championships for 2016, and we are starting work on the World Cup in Russia 2018.
Oh.
Yeah. So samples are already happening.
So like the golden vapors that we were mailing about on the wall. That's very interesting. That's all. Probably when we'll end the footage, I will come up with many more questions. You're probably tired as well as I am, so Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Oh, one more thing.